Sup guys, it's Corrupted
And Trigo.
with Ramen for the Soul. Today with episode 14. Well, I guess it's episode 16 in total, but 14 of the Luffy stuff. Right? I think that's how the math works out, because we did 2 Naruto ones.
I couldn't tell you.
But yeah. This goes almost to the end of Thriller Bark. It stops right before everything goes to crap, depending on how you look at it. But it was like kind of uneventful for like what we normally talk about.
Yeah.
Cause it's like,
nah, this stretch right here is
weird.
mainly for like, it's a lot of symbolism where it is hard like changes. Because like when we come down, when we come down in the first beginning, when we first get into it, you know, that's when Oars just comes out, and you know the process. Because you know, right before we ended last week, we started talking about how Moria and everybody's enemy is represented by some extreme, you know, opposite version of them that could have went in the opposite direction. And it's funny you see that, because now in Moria, when he first takes Luffy's shadow, you see how when he first implants it, Luffy's still Luffy in Ora's body. Like, still, oh, give me meat, I'm gonna become king of the pirates.
I
like,
need a nice hat.
Yeah, I need a nice hat. All that stuff. And it's like he's still Luffy. And the whole thing on the process with the shadification, I guess that's what he calls it. You think the shadow has its natural, like, you know, urges and stuff it still had in his body. So the dreams, the desires and all that. And basically when it gets transferred, all of that slowly starts to go away. So literally Moria is the opposite of Luffy when it comes to dreams, because he's literally sapping them away.
Stealing people's
dreams to perpetuate his own.
So, real quick, I just thought about something. Do you think Thriller Bark might randomly just be the best piece of foreshadowing in the show, for one simple reason? Because it's just like the weirdest foreshadowing ever.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire thing is like they have 5 or 6 hours to beat Moria, or they all die, right?
Yeah, with the shadows got taken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're fighting against time, against the new day. And if the new day comes, they die. What if it's just like the inverse of that is the end of One Piece? Because like when the new dawn comes in the world, the gods die.
That'd be cool.
Like, because they're on the perpetual edge of twilight the entire night, because the fog, they're just like, oh, the fog will block out the sun, so we're safe even during the day. So it's like, you can see the fog is like the Marines. Like, even if they do come, the Marines will protect the celestial dragons from whatever happens. But then a new dawn, a new Nika shows up and gets rid of the current power structure of the world, and gets rid of the gods of the world, which are the celestial dragons.
In this case, it would be Moria and them.
Yeah,
that would be the symbolization. Symbolism.
But also, it also worked because Moria stole so much from everybody, like the celestial dragons did.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, I see it.
It could be.
But,
like it's just something that just occurred to me, so I don't know how good of a thing. Oh yeah, another thing that's great, when Oars' body wakes up with Luffy, his roar acts like Conqueror's Haki, which is like also foreshadowing, because it not only forcefully knocks people out, but some of the zombies fall asleep.
Yep, I saw that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, like some of the zombies fall asleep. It takes Luffy's zombie it takes like 4 episodes for him to be able to be controlled by Moria. Just because
he's still running amok the whole time.
Yeah, and like it's framed in such a way that you think that he's gonna be completely free from it, but it turns out that's just Moria playing with him.
Pretty much.
Like he's just pretending that he doesn't listen. Yeah. Sorry for the yawn. Like Moria plays it as he's just playing with him, and he's just like, "Oh no, I can't control him."
Yeah, he literally like it was almost like that he was letting him do it because the way his underlings were just like, "Oh, Master Moria, like he gonna destroy everything." Okay. Oh, Master Moria, if we give him any more food, we ain't gonna have none. Okay. Hey, we're gonna give him the emergency rations. If we let him eat that, we won't have nothing to eat for a while. He's like, okay.
Yeah, give it to him. Like, doesn't matter.
It was like, just give it to him. Like, he's my prized weapon. Like, whatever you want, give it to him. Then he just goes so far, and dude running around, then broke them ass to your ship, playing with your rudder, trying to make it wag like a duck. Like, but the dude just went off the deep end playing with your ship, and you just okay with this.
One of the mansions to use it as a hat.
Like, and Moria's just like, he's gonna financially recover from it. Like, he big balling, he don't care.
Like, and they're not on an island; they're on a friggin' ship. So if something happens, in the middle
of nowhere.
Like the thing that makes it even crazier is like Moria's just like, it doesn't matter, I'm not gonna die, cause the ship breaks, he dies like 100%.
Yeah, he's a devil fruit user.
Yeah, so it's just like it makes you wonder: is he just that nihilistic, or is he?
No, he is 100%. Like, cause he went toe to toe with Kaido.
I don't believe that.
No, it's true. I don't believe it either in my head, but
no. Like I'm saying, like there had to be something special that happened.
But Kaido beat him up, and ever since that fight, he's been really like, I put everything on the line, and it made me lose everything. So now I'm not putting everything on the line.
The reason I don't believe that though is
it's doing this.
Okay, let me make sure it's still working.
Technical difficulties, people. One second.
Okay, I think it's working again.
Yeah, I think it's straight.
Yeah, it looks like it just had like it pittered out a little bit for a second. Okay, awesome. But like, this skips forward a little bit, but when Eustace Kid and the other two are like planning to take Shanks, they accidentally run into Kaido, and
what are you talking about?
It's in Dressrosa, but
you talking about when Kaido's on?
He like tries to kill himself, and it does nothing to him.
Down,
he jumps from Sky Island all the way back down to Earth.
Yeah,
and he like one shot. We don't know that he one-shots kids, but he beats the shit out of Kid.
And he doesn't all of them.
Yeah, he beat all. Well, what's it called? He doesn't fight, what's his name? Scratch, because Scratch works for him.
I mean, he had to fight all of them at that point. Scratch just chose to submit versus Kid didn't. And so did Basil Hawkins, but
you know what, like Kaido's that's right that he beat somebody
you do,
at a time frame that would have
but Kaido wasn't always that strong. He didn't always have the devil fruit, and he wasn't always like that.
That's true. They could have fought like when Moria had his devil fruit. And
it is but Kaido, like a long time ago.
But when they talk about like Kaido's accolades, where they've like tried to murder him, like they tried to execute him like 44 times.
A lot.
The government did.
It's like a lot. 44,
and they failed every time.
But yeah, Moria was better at one point. That's what it insinuates. And it's for the fact that now he was it's supposed to insinuate at a point that he was so good that he fought one of the strongest pirates of that time. And to look into where he is now, he's supposed to look like a sad sack. And it worked. Like, he's just such a shell of his former self. And it's honestly, watching back at this with that in mind, he looks honestly pathetic.
Also, it could be that when they did it, because we know Kaido was a member of Rock's crew, it could have been like the time that he went toe-to-toe to Kaido, and he could have just talked a bunch of shit about it. Like, been like, I went toe-to-toe with Kaido, and then Gecko could have pretended that it was Prime Kaido.
But no, I'm not gonna reach
to like
that
increase
far.
The stakes.
I'm not gonna reach that far and say he did all that. That's too much. But we see that just for the simple fact because he did even in his fight with Luffy, like he literally playing with Luffy, literally sitting here like not taking him serious, just okay, I'm just gonna keep throwing the shadow at you. Oh, fight my little doppelman. I'm just gonna sit over here and chill and not do nothing. Like at any point in time and during this fight with Moria, even the hint of serious they don't get out of this, and that is like, bruh, like he could have literally had Oars fight, absorbed every other shadow, got as big as Oars was, and double teamed the Straw Hats, and they couldn't have done nothing. It's like, why you wait?
I thought the reason he got so big is because when he got like almost the size of Oars is because he also had Luffy's shadow. Because Luffy's shadow was worth like 100 other shadows.
No. That dude freaking absorbed every shadow because his trump card got taken.
I get that he absorbed, but I'm saying like if Oars didn't have Luffy's shadow, I don't know if he would have been that big.
I ain't talking about Oars itself was already that big.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like Moria absorbed all the shadows that was in his realm, and he grew every time.
Yeah, he
had those shadows. Like literally, if he would have just let Oars do the fighting, grew and started fighting, they wouldn't have like it felt like he only did that as a panic when he should have did that like first.
That's true.
And that's like, bruh, like this literally was the thing. Like when we talk about the opposite of what Luffy represents versus this is literally it. Like this dude no longer put the effort into achieving his dream so much to the point that he wasn't even willing to fully defend it with all he's got.
Also, another thing, if he could stand toe to toe with Kaido, it implies that he knows how to use Haki, but he just didn't use it.
Yeah, I mean,
because Kaido's been a master of Haki since he was on the Rocks crew.
We don't know that for sure. We don't know.
Or at least it's easy to.
It's not easy.
I feel like it's easy to assume if you're not an apprentice level and like Rocks or Goldie's Roger shit, you might not have mastered it, but you have to know what it is.
I mean, still, but just enough to go toe to toe with Kaido is enough for me. Like, but that's it. Even if he let's say for the simple fact he didn't know how to use Haki, it just makes it even worse. Cause like, bro, why didn't you? Like, you really gave up on your dream like that. Like that. Like, you got all these, ways and stuff to win. You have all these extra tricks that this lowly pirate doesn't have. You've been around the block more than him. And you gonna play?
Yeah, and you got an army.
You got a whole army of freaking undead. And you gonna play? Like, you realize he already knocked off one of y'all before, so it ain't like this his first rodeo. He didn't already went against a warlord of the sea before and came out victorious. You probably don't know how it happened on his end, but all you know is that it did happen. So why would you play and not take him serious? Like, they sent a whole nother warlord there because he was there.
So there's two reasons I can see him not taking him serious. It's because he's so nihilistic that he secretly just wants to be done with everything. And so he'll take the easy way out.
I can definitely see that.
Or it's that he, like, instead of the nihilistic thing, it's just that he believes Luffy when he says he's going to be Pirate King. And I don't think that's what it is.
Yeah, I feel that. No, I don't think that's
because he wants to be Pirate King.
Yeah,
his whole thing is like, oh, I got a big enough bounty thing to put in this special body to do all this stuff. But also, like, the thing that makes Luffy so OP at this point in time isn't his fighting power; it's his devil fruit. So, like, it feels kind of useless to put his soul in Oars when you think about it. Like, because he has to use Shadow Revolution to have the same powers. And that was the
thing. And that was another thing, too, that someone else made this point. I didn't. Moria's placement for shadows was very, very stupid. Like, he should have given, if he had Ryuma, like, there were plenty of other swordsman shadows you could have gotten that weren't Brooks.
Yeah, I would have put Zoro inside Ryuma,
exactly.
And then also, like, that's probably better than Oars.
Exactly, because
it took him controlling orbs to give him the ability to stretch, to be able to, like,
actually use Luffy's fighting style to its fullest. Yeah.
So it takes all of him and his minion that he has to control it like the Megazord.
Mm-hmm.
Like that episode of the Mega Power Rangers when the Green Ranger busts into their Megazord and starts throwing them out. He has to be like that to make it work. But, like, that's totally not worth it.
Yeah, and that's literally one of the bigger things. It's like Moria literally, it's like he was the guy, he had an idea that he was so sure that was going to make him Pirate King and just did it without even thinking about, the specifics of it. Like, you got this idea, and it's good if you do it right, but for you to just fumble Ryuma like that, like, Brook was a good swordsman, but there was, like, I literally, bro, like, I'm pretty sure there were better swordsmen than Brook he could have got or have came across at that point.
Also, like, how's he have Ryuma's body?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you.
Is that how he came into contact with Kaido?
That's probably why he was in Wano.
Yeah, because Ryuma has, like, one of the sacred treasures of Wano.
Yeah.
Like, because it's like an actual plot point later on.
They actually never say who stole it. They just said somebody stole it.
But also, like, wasn't it like Ryuma's sword during his life or whatever?
Yeah.
So, like, it was probably buried with Ryuma. So, however he got Ryuma is probably, so that's probably how he fought Kaido. And if Moria won the fight, because I think the wording in the manga that I read was he stood toe to toe, like they fought almost as equals.
Yeah.
With Kaido, it could make sense that's why Kaido's so big on the fact no one's allowed in Wano anymore.
Well, that wasn't his thing. That was the thing before him.
I get it's before him, but now he's like, if you leave Wano, I'll fucking kill you.
I mean, why would he? Like, think about it. Like, why would he open Wano? You are at reason. You have no affiliation with the people who are their sole purpose to take you out in the world government.
Yeah, there's no
literally.
Reason to open it.
They don't take news. They're not current.
Yeah.
So
they're further behind technologically than every other civilization we've ran into so far.
Yeah. Like, they're not with the times at all, but
they're like 200 years behind Alabasta probably.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, like, they're pretty far back. Like, Dressrosa is almost modern day. We haven't gotten there, but, like, just like talking about, like, the civilizations we see.
Sorry. But
pop this plastic piece off the corner. I'll put it back in a minute.
But, and not even that, like, because we see that and it's just when you see that. And when you think about just how far Moria fell, it makes sense why Luffy really, like, didn't like him so much at that point. And then you transfer over when you see the same passion in Chopper when he sees Dr. Hogback, and, like, it was literally like Hogback was somebody this nigga once, like, looked up to and, like, revered. Like, he one of the reasons that you did this, just to find out that, boy, you corrupt. But you out here, you don't care about helping people. You doing it for the money.
Yeah, he did it and then he just started taking dead body and doing the opposite of what a doctor does.
Yep. And that right there, it's like Chopper looked and saw just something he could never become and just did everything about him. And I don't even blame him. Like,
or what's it called? Like, he sees the dark side of himself that, like, if he didn't have someone like Dr. Reen and Hero Look to make sure he was on the right track, like, he would have fell to the darkness that is Hogback's way of life. Because,
like, Hogback, like, especially in Sindri's case, like, you were in love with this woman so much, knowing she didn't want you, that when she died, you felt like you had a chance. And
remember, he didn't love her. He just thought she was beautiful.
Well, he was obsessed with her.
Yeah.
He was obsessed with her at the very least. But the thing that I believe it was Chopper that said it in his rant to Hogback But he said, what was it? He said, you alive if you have free will. And when you think of, you take that and you literally spin it, because when you say Chopper looking into the, abyss of something he couldn't become, but also something that he almost was, because he struggled so hard himself to live his life as, a human, technically, being alive in the sense that he didn't have free will to do be where he could be, and he was always looked down on. Is just like, it's an echo of that. And then you get to the same thing with Usopp and Piranha, which I thought also was cool, because it's like they whole thing was Piranha's just negative, make them all negative, now they can't fight. But in Usopp's case, he's already so negative and don't fight, so you can't make him more negative. But the symbolism in that is like he himself already makes himself more negative, to where another outside force trying to add to his own negativity, and he's not allowing it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and then there's like the whole, he starts losing the fight, so he has to put on the Sniper King mask.
Back to the belief theory again.
And Piranha's just like, why the hell are you wearing a mask? Like, what? And then he wins the fight thanks to turning into, like, he's able to stuff the salt into whatever her bears.
Kumashi, however they say it.
And it's just like, what? Like, and he beats her by tricking her into getting stuck, and then shoots a bunch of fake bugs on her.
A bunch of fake cockroaches that weren't even real. Then hitting her with the inflatable 2-ton hammer.
They scared her so bad right before she got hit that she fell asleep. Like, she asphyxiates. Like, that's what, when you foam out the mouth, is because you're choking.
Yeah.
So he like scares her so bad that she chokes herself unconscious.
Bruh. And then it's like I say, it's back to the belief theory again, because Usopp played with perception in this fight. And
well, he plays with perception in every fight.
But I seen it in so much more in this fight than any of his fights previously.
It's like, pretty close to the number 4 fight and Miss Christmas fight.
Yeah.
Where they trick him. They trick what's his name into thinking that it's like a 1-ton hammer.
Yeah.
But it's just a couple of pans and paper mache.
Yeah.
And it hits them, and they think it's...
the thing with how he used the girl's voice to get the guy to swing. But why I say is because, like, he really played on Piranha's, like, fears. Even when it came down to as soon as he found out where her real body was. It was like, as soon as he found out where her real body was, she lost the fight.
Well, also, it's like he used what she used against other people.
Yes. And that's...
Like her entire thing is her devil fruit is just psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare, pretty much.
Like, that's all she does. Like, she only has like one actual attack with her devil fruit, but she just makes it to where other people can't fight, and then Usopp just hits her with the same thing. Just like completely immobilizes her, takes her out.
Complete psychological warfare is just on her end, in Usopp's way.
Yeah, it's like a good, like we were talking about, like everybody, each person, the person that the mainline people fight, it's like a perversion of that character themselves. Like Absalom and Sanji, they're both massive perverts, but like Absalom's willing to take someone when they're sleeping, and Sanji would never dream of that.
Yeah, and that's a big thing too, because I felt like him telling Absalom that he didn't like him because he wanted the clear fruit just like him was a misdirection, because it was trying to get us to put them in some kind of similar, boat with what you just said, with how Absalom would take a girl while she's sleeping and Sanji wouldn't. I think it was trying to put them in the same boat.
Yeah, Absalom will pull Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Oh,
Pudding
pop.
He just pulled... Actually, there's an entire 2 episodes about him trying to pull the biggest Bill Cosby ever.
But you're right. But you see that in doing that, they tried to put him in the same boat, but when you really break them down, it's like, Absalom has no honor at all.
Yeah.
And Sanji does have honor.
Also, another thing is that's really funny to note is that you don't learn this now. You learn this in the Whole Cake arc. But the fire that's on Sanji whenever he gets fired up and pissed off at Absalom, that's actually there.
Yeah.
The fire is actually there.
Yeah.
Like, he's actually, like, surrounded in a coat of flames. Mm-hmm. And according to Oda, it's, in the SBS, he talked about that the reason Sanji's able to summon flames is because his spirit is so hot that his passion pours out into the actual physical world. Like, it's piece of his soul comes out and catches his body on fire. Is like how Oda described it in the SBS, which is weird.
No, I understand. But
it's cool at the same time.
No, it's definitely cool.
But I feel like it's just something to point out. Like, the burning passion that he always has is actually real. But then you see, that's like the opposite of what Absalom is. Like, he has like a burning passion for like a aesthetically perfect woman. Because that's like the whole thing. Like, they, like, it's almost a joke at this point with Nami.
Yeah.
It's that she's the aesthetically perfect woman in the world of One Piece. Because, like, everybody that's, like, even has a slight tilt, it's either they, like, there's people that fall for Nami that didn't fall for Boa Hancock.
Yeah, that's true.
But, like, and there's also vice versa, though.
Yeah.
Like, so it's, like, one of those things. But also, Boa Hancock, like, knows how to use it. Nami doesn't try to use it for anything.
No, Boa Hancock's whole power is using it.
Yeah, using the fact that she's one of the most...
Yeah, one of the most beautiful women.
But also, like, she's...
And that's crazy.
Arguably the most famous woman in the world.
That's, yeah. Besides...
Big Mom.
Yeah, besides Big Mom, besides, like, Suru amongst the Marines.
Well, no, I'm just, like, in general, like...
But no, Boa Hancock known amongst pirates and Marines, yeah.
Yeah. But also, like, Big Mom's name, I guess, but not what she looks like.
Yeah.
Because nobody in the Straw Hats knew who it looked like. Yeah.
Because, you know, she did used to be one of the more prettier ones, which
we think.
No, we know.
I thought it wasn't 100% confirmed.
No, in Rocks, when we see her in Rocks, she looks like...
Oh, okay, they actually showed
like, we've gotten... Like, they've showed her in Rocks, of course. Now in the manga, we've had the God Valley incident to show what she did, and... Yeah.
Oh, it's just that I don't think the God Valley incident thing popped up when you showed me the picture of when we thought, like, people thought that was her.
That was she did. I'll show you again, boy, because Jesus.
No, I remember what she looked like.
Yeah.
That person should look like.
Yeah, but that's crazy that you mentioned that, because Absalom, one thing I also noticed is because when they mentioned the fact that they wanted the same fruit, Absalom literally would do that anyway if he didn't have the fruit. I think Sanji only wanted the fruit, so he felt like he could do that, peep on women and stuff like Absalom was doing.
Well, no, like, what's it called? He has peeped before, Sanji has, but he didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to keep looking since I ran into it. Sort of thing.
Yeah.
But also, he'd, like, pass out if he actually, like, if he was doing it on purpose. Like, Sanji wouldn't be able to control himself.
No, but like, we've already seen it.
Also, like, he completely saw through everything Absalom did.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was just like, dude, you got bazookas on your arm, stop it.
Yeah.
like, what's the meme with Michael Jordan? Stop it.
Get some help.
Yeah. Like, that's what he's like. He's like, stop it, get some help. And he's just like, he just has 2 rocket launchers strapped to his arms all the time. And, like, that's how his, like, he pretended that he had powers, but it's just an air cannon on his hands. And he's just like, that doesn't work. And, like, Absalom's, like, scared because he's just like, I have a special body built out of animal parts. And he's just like, I have all the power here. And Sanji's just like, you don't have shit here except for the ability to turn invisible. And Sanji beats the mess out of this man. Like, he beats Absalom like a cheap drum. Or, actually, are we past the 10-minute mark? Yes, we are. Sanji beats Absalom like a cheap hooker. Like that's the only way to say it. He beats him like a cheap hooker. Like, God, he dogs the crap out of. Like, Absalom can't do anything, and then Absalom like tries to get him while he's holding Nami, and Sanji just lets Absalom beat him up, and Absalom's just like, "What? I thought you were tough," and Sanji just pulls the, "I just don't want to stain Nami's beautiful wedding dress."
The classic Sanji simp Riz.
Yeah, dude, what's it called? I feel like there should be a new level of simp.
Yeah.
For Sanji.
Sanji. Just are you Sanji?
Dude, can you imagine how much money Sanji would spend with OnlyFans?
Bruh. No, okay, there's two levels to that. Imagine how much Sanji would spend with OnlyFans, but imagine how much Sanji would spend if he was buying Nami's OnlyFans.
Dude.
That boy would. We thought Catch Me Outside Girl had the record for the most money in a month.
Nah, bro. Sanji had the record for most money spent a month. He'd probably be borrowing money from Nami to pay it.
Bruh, I know you ain't got to Wano yet, but when you get to there, you're going to see Komurasaki. How she's introduced, she literally has a dude fucking simping over her. Like, literally going... The anime spent... I don't know if they did it in the manga, but the anime spent an embarrassing amount of time showing just how far this dude was willing to simp over Komurasaki, and I just can't... Like, started off, dude had, like... He was getting it from his workers to get the money to her. Dude sold the business to get the money to her. Dude went and robbed to get the money to her. Dude sold a house to get the money to her. Divorced his wife to get the money to her. All for this woman to come back and say, yeah, bro, you know, all that money, yeah, I spent it all, cuz I ain't never liked you. I was using you for your money. And they laughed at this man. Bro, like,
sounds like something Sanji would do. Or this moment of Sanji, like in Whole Cake, bruh. Sanji wouldn't do it anymore, but now Sanji would do it.
Bruh.
Sanji do that crap so fast. Remember, Sanji almost throws away an entire nation in Whole Cake over his horniness.
Yeah. Man.
Like, he has all this shit, but like he's willing to do all this shit, but he's still a virgin. Like, Sanji.
Number 4.
Like, no, he's number 3.
You don't get to. That's the community talk of Sanji. When they don't like him, they call him number 4.
Why?
Jinbei's addition made him number 4.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about his like family.
No,
okay, he's
no.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
technically he's number 3 in the Straw Hats too. That's what made that significant. But when Jinbei got added, everybody started calling him number 4.
Is Jinbei stronger? I feel like they're like maybe non-raid suit Jinbei stronger.
I mean, technically that's Sanji. You know, he gets rid of the raid suit. He throws the raid suit away.
But doesn't he? Well, I'm almost to the point where that manga. But does he get the modifications that he didn't get as a kid?
He got stealth black.
I know he gets the stealth back, but no, I'm saying like his
yeah.
Remember all of his brothers have.
Yeah, his German.
That's why they were so much stronger than him.
Yeah, his German modifications wake up in this battle against Queen.
I figured.
Because how they do it was he was just kind of dazed because he was getting his ass beat. Queen was beating his ass.
Because he was supposed to be the strongest one.
Yeah, and then Queen, he had like one of those weapons like Whitebeard had.
What the heck?
Oh, man. You think it might be the weather?
Nah, I think it's somebody doing something. I don't know. It could be the weather, but it shouldn't be the weather.
Technical difficulties, people.
Yeah, I had no clue what it is. But what's it called? Back to the actual Thriller Bark stuff. Like, we see like Sanji, like he's a simp, but he has a line. Absalom does not have a line. I guess it's funny because he has a lion face.
That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said.
No. I was saying like he has Sanji has like a hard line that he's not gonna step over.
Yeah.
Like his simping has a boundary. Epsilon simping goes straight to Bill Cosby pudding pop syndrome. Like his boundary is straight like you cannot run into Absalom by yourself in an alley if you are a female.
Nah, don't do that. Make sure you got that pepper spray. Nah, fuck that. Make sure you got that Glock. Nah, forget that. Make sure you got a Glock and a rifle and
not just secret.
Not pepper spray. What's the bear? Yeah, bear spray. Yeah, get
bear mace.
Bear mace. The stuff take down bears because he a lion.
Bear mace seems like it wouldn't work how you want it to. Like if you use it against a bear, wouldn't he just get pissed and just start swiping?
I would. I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I would imagine. Like the bear's like eyes are like his eyes are burning so bad that it feels like your eyeballs are melting. That's what it's supposed to feel like. That's what it's supposed to feel like. So I would imagine that that's what pepper spray feels like. Like crank that up to 11. And if you I feel like bear mace is not a good idea.
But yeah, we see Sanji, and he pretty much dog walked Absalom at this point.
Another interesting thing, I think there's a thing. I think Luffy can see people's souls.
Yeah. Like
their actual souls. Like I don't think he sees people. I think he sees their soul because he thinks the dude with Sanji's soul he thinks the dude with Zoro's soul looks exactly like Zoro. And it's not even like it shows close. Like when they look like they superimpose his face like Chopper does, just like not even close. They're not even the same size.
You know what? And you talk about the king of foreshadowing, the shadow that had Zoro's shadow was missing his left eye.
He was. Okay, I know what's his name was missing his right eye.
Hold up. Let me make sure his name was Jigoro.
I don't remember his name.
Jigoro.
But he knew that the zombie was he thought the zombie was Zoro at first, and
he had a strike.
That's just.
Oh. No, it was
no. The dude that looks like the zombie that looks like Sanji's missing one of his eyes.
Yeah, he had a stitch over his right eye. But both his eyes are open.
What's his name? The swordsman.
Yeah, he had a
that
stitch.
Looks exactly like Zoro.
Nah, see, he got a little stitch right there. But that's his right eye, not his left eye.
But what's it called? I know Ryoma or whatever his name is. He's missing an eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to stop yawning, I need to stop yawning.
You know how you stop yawning? You get some sleep there.
Hey, dude. Don't call me out like that. But, yeah, it's just I noticed that it's just what if the reason he thinks he looks... Because his wording is, there's a guy that looks exactly like you, Zoro. In the manga, that's the wording.
They're using it in anime too.
Exactly like you. There's a guy in there that looks exactly like you, and he even uses 3 swords too. So you can see the fact that he had 3 swords isn't why he thought he was like Zoro. It's because he thought he looked like Zoro. So it makes me wonder: can you just see souls? And that would also make sense why pretty girls don't work on him. Because remember, it's not that he doesn't think things are beautiful, because he's called multiple things beautiful. It's just that, what if he sees people's actual souls? And that sounds like a power a god would have.
Yeah.
Like the god of the sun, the god of freedom. It makes sense that the god of freedom would be able to see that, what's inside people's hearts. He can tell if people are free or not. They look inside their hearts and tell if they're free or not. That's Mobile for you. But that's just the That's an interesting idea that I noticed. I was just like, why else would he say it like that? Unless he can see Zoro's soul. Like, he doesn't realize it's actually Zoro's soul, but he can see Zoro's soul.
Yeah.
That'd make a lot of sense.
That would be cool. Not gonna lie to you. But, not only that, you see, also, it would make sense with the voice of all things, too.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, he can hear the soul of things.
Yeah, and, technically, Moria is pretty much, the shadow pretty much would be linked to the soul.
Yeah, the shadow is, for all intents and purposes, the soul.
Yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, and the shadow looking just like him, and Zoro's right there, too, yeah.
Yeah, it would make sense if he could see, like, he doesn't realize he can see souls.
Yeah.
Okay, he probably just thinks he sees everybody. But then also, it also makes sense, like, why he doesn't recognize Kobe and Himepo, because he remembers Kobe. Like, he'll say, like, I wonder how Kobe is. And I know he's dumb, but he probably, like, knows Kobe has pink hair, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think he even says something about Kobe's pink hair when they first meet.
Yeah.
And Kobe's the only character at that point, I believe, that we've seen with pink hair.
You mean, well, he was the first pink hair character in the show, but...
But, like, I know there's ones later. Like, I can think of some later that have pink hair. But
up to this point right now?
Up to Enies Lobby, I can't think of another character.
Okay.
Like, when Kobe and Himepo show up.
Yeah.
I can't think of another. Like, I know, like, later on, like, Big Mom has pink hair and some other people have pink hair.
Rebecca has pink hair.
There's a mermaid with pink hair. Yeah. Like.
Got blue hair. No, he got white hair.
Yeah, I can't think of another pink hair character.
He got blue hair.
But, if he's able to see souls, it would make sense why he couldn't tell that it was Kobe or Himepo, because of how much their strength of character increased. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, how much how much they've evolved since the 2 months that I think it's been 6 months since the start of the show at this point.
Yeah.
But, like, how intense of a transformation they've gone through.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it would make it like their souls changed, so he couldn't recognize them.
Yeah.
Because
real talk. Because bruh, Kobe and Himepo, the last time he seen them up into Water 7, bro, they were pretty much pie.
They were bitches.
They was bitches. They was bit made.
Yeah, and now they're confident.
And now they're confident. They Garp told them to go fight, and
I think they were corporals or something like that.
Kobe's at that point.
They have an actual rank. They're not privates.
It might have been corporals.
Yeah, but I just know they're not.
They're not cadets.
They're not the first rank anymore. They're above the normal.
Yeah, because Kobe's where the story is now. Kobe's a captain.
Yeah,
and I think Himepo is a guard.
I thought Himepo was like his lieutenant or whatever.
Yeah, that might be it.
Like, he's like.
Right,
Kobe's
he's
second in command.
Yeah, he's Kobe's right hand.
I think that's lieutenant.
He's to the captain. Yeah,
I think that's his lieutenant.
But that make a lot of sense though, because like the way the soul was, and it would make sense why he would recognize that Zoro's soul right away, because that's a soul he would be familiar with.
Well, also, that's like outside of Ace and Sabo. Zoro's probably his best friend.
Yeah.
Like, that's like the whole thing. Like, Zoro has his back. Zoro has his back more than anyone else in the crew, and it's not even close.
And we're going to see that next week when
Zoro's
nothing happened.
Zoro's not just, like, it's an actual plot point in this episode. He's like, I don't care if I die. I'm just making sure Luffy doesn't die when the sun comes out. Like, everything else, no else. All that matters is that my captain survives today. Like, that's his entire thing.
And it's crazy when you think about the merits and honor-bound guides that Zoro has. Remember, he started this as a bounty hunter, not a pirate.
Yeah, and he only hunted bounties to eat.
Yeah.
And because he was just using it as an excuse to practice.
But not even that. Just think about it like this. Zoro was introduced to us as a bounty hunter.
Oh, he has how honor bounty is. He eats the dirty cake, rice onigiris at the little.
He has the background of a samurai. and he was introduced as a bounty hunter, had the background as a samurai, but chose to live as a pirate.
Like well, that's because Luffy earned his respect.
Yeah, but that need to be studied, man. Like,
and also, I don't think it's 100% confirmed, but like Oda's like heavily implied that Zoro's either grandfather or great grandfather was from Wano.
Oh, it was Ryuma.
Okay, see, like I wasn't sure if it was implied, but yeah, I assumed when they saw that he just looks like. They look exactly like Zoro.
They didn't.
And he talks like in the manga. I don't know if he says it in the anime, but in the manga he talks about the sword feels like it calls to him.
Yeah, no, that was in the
like he's too. Like it's too heavy, but it feels like it's speaking to me. Yeah. Like I can feel the weight of it. He says in the actual manga when he's fighting Oars, he says it's heavier, so I know I can do the attack with more power. And he's able to block his guard, and it's just like he says something like, "It's almost like it speaks to me," which makes sense if it's been in his family for generations.
You one up that is crazy because now we was just talking about how, Shusui when he parts with it, the next sword is Enma, and he was literally having a conversation with Enma, like literally.
So it makes you wonder: does Zoro have voice of all things?
It's not said yet.
But if he can feel, because remember, he's the first member of the Straw Hats to ever use hockey. Remember, he does it on accident against number 2?
Yeah,
or number 1, Mr. 1. Yeah. Against Mr. 1, he accidentally uses observation hockey.
Yeah.
Well, technically, he uses mantra on accident, but mantra is just crappy observation hockey.
Pretty much. I would say it would be like an opening step.
Yeah, because mantra is supposed to be you hear everything, but then once your mantra is good, you can see everything.
Yeah.
Like Enel's mantra, he could see it, but like the other people, they heard it. But it makes you wonder, like, you see all this stuff, like what if Luffy doesn't see faces? He just sees souls. And that's how he know, like it also goes back to like what Chopper said. Like, he always knows who he's gonna fight.
Because that's...
What if the reason why is because he can see the soul. And, like, when he sees the soul, he can tell who's the bad... Like, the one with, like, the darkest soul. And that's the one he wants to fight.
That would be cool. I ain't gonna lie, that would be a pretty cool concept.
Like, if it's the...
That would be a pretty cool concept.
Like, if his thing is, like... If he's supposed to be, like, the light of the new generation, because that's what he is, even before. Because he's, like, seen as the figurehead of the supernovas.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah.
Like he's like the face of his generation because he beat Crocodile. That what if they like what if it's like that's how he knows that he can trust like law when they make a thing and everything.
Yeah.
Cuz he doesn't see alliance the way everyone else does. He thinks an alliance means that they're friends now, but what if the reason he feels that he can trust those people is because he can see that they're not actually, like, their souls aren't dark?
It'd be something we can look closely to going forward, because that's interesting. You see, just how, he only sees people as the way, that one way that nobody else does. Like, how they say he can just pull people in, just make you want to help them and stuff. And then you get to where, like, how he always just, soon as he's been meeting people, he doesn't use their actual name. He gives them some kind of nickname.
Like Weepy Hoshi.
Yeah, Weepy Hoshi and stuff like that. But the only people who've ever called him out on it and it stuck that I can think of off the top of my head is Bonnie. But that's something we'll get into, because when you talk about the soul, it was like she didn't allow him to mispronounce her name, so he saw a shift in her soul that he probably respected enough to say, okay, yeah, Bonnie, not Bogey and all that. But
yeah, you can never say it right.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something to watch, looking for.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think of another example where it happened, but like also in the Moria fight is a good example. He like, as he hits the thing, he realized Moria is moved.
Yeah.
Like as soon as he tries to hit Moria, he's like, "Oh shit, that's the shadow."
You can do it with ores. When he first gave ores, put shit shadow in ores, he was calling him Lich Guy. Oh, Lich Guy, you got some food, Lich Guy? And, of course, we know Moria forced him to respect him, but then he started calling him Master Moria.
Yeah, after he got taken over completely.
Yeah, but that was the result of the power, but it was sort of the same sort of thing.
But it also would make sense why Luffy's not scared when Kuma shows up.
Bro, I actually don't even think he knew Kuma came that whole time.
What's it called? He hasn't passed out yet when Nami's just like, "Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, there's another warlord."
Oh yeah. I completely missed
when
that.
Kuma jumps off the wall, and it's just like because they hear him have the conversation with I think it's the Elder Star. It doesn't tell you who it is. Which is like eliminate them.
Yeah, no, it was an Elder.
Because it's got the purple thing. It's got the color outline that the Elder Stars had in the other parts of the manga.
Because he does the
special bubbles with colored text chats for in the colored version of the manga that tells you like who it is. Like Chopper's is orange, Luffy's is red,
but
Frankie's is blue.
That's definitely probably the same. Why he wasn't afraid. Yeah, that could see.
Because he knows Kuma's there to help him.
He already knew before he had to say it because he didn't feel him.
Or he could just see that like Kuma is not evil.
Yeah, he's not he doesn't have the same aura as these other people have.
We know that he's actually there to save Luffy's life. Like, he uses his... Like, we know from Kuma's backstory that he's actually there to make sure Luffy's okay. Yeah. He's just using his orders as a warlord to obfuscate the fact that he's there to protect his friend's son.
Yeah. And because the backstory, he used... that cover up because that was the last mission that he had before he lost his. No, that was one of the last missions he had before he was supposed to fully lose his consciousness.
Yeah, because I think it's 2 Marines after Marineford is when it.
Yeah, when it actually happened, but he had lost his. When the end of Sabaody happened, when he protected the ship, he was already gone. But he made Vegapunk program that in him to. That be one of the last things he did before he completely goes under, which was make sure they were okay. But the mission he had was to go and do that. But then he was supposed to go to Marineford right after that, because at the point in the story we at right now, they've already set up for Ace to be executed at Marineford. Just Luffy don't know yet.
That's why Kuma showed up, is to tell him that. Like to tell him, hey,
you know what?
Be at Marineford.
Yeah, because that's why the first thing he's like, Nami, does Luffy have a older brother? And she told him, yeah.
What, you mean Ace?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying that's what Nami in the manga. She says, "Do you mean Ace?"
What you mean Ace? And he was like, okay.
Okay, cool. Bye, Piranha.
Bye, Piranha.
Yeah, and then like he starts fighting at the very end of the chapter, and he just starts slapping people away.
Yep.
Because what's called, if we're gonna power scale the warlord, Kuma's at least number 3.
I would say number 1.
I don't know if he's stronger than Doflamingo or not.
I could tell you stronger than Doflamingo.
I would think he is.
No, I can 100% tell you Kuma is stronger than Doflamingo.
But I don't know. Like I don't know. Like, we know he's stronger than Crocodile. We know he's stronger than Gecko. Well, we don't know that he's stronger than Teach.
Yeah, that's a wild card.
So like, we know he's at least the third strongest.
Out of the original warlords. Like, not Teach, because the original was Moria, Crocodile, Boa Hancock, Mihawk,
Jibe,
Kumba,
Jinbe.
No, I wouldn't even say Jinbe.
I thought he was one of the original, because when
he was one of the earlier ones. Well, yeah.
Because we don't know if what's his name is been longer than the one that Ace beat. We don't know how long he was. That worked for Kaido.
Yeah.
In the SBS.
He was. I didn't read it. I know he said he was.
They talked about. Yeah,
he was a lizard dude.
Yeah, he worked directly for Kaido. He was in charge of procuring ancient Zoan fruits for Kaido.
Oh yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah, so like we know that Kuma's stronger than that guy, because if Ace could beat him, then Kuma could beat him because Kuma would probably easily beat Ace at that point. Like before
any dude
Ace
that all you gotta
Haki.
do is that and you gone, it's gonna be hard. Like
yeah. Also, it's not just that. He also, because he can use his power on concepts and people, he could just take your will to fight him.
I don't know if he can do that. I know he can take your pain away and give it to someone else.
My understanding of them explaining how it works is that he can do it to memories and feelings.
Yeah, I know. Well, he can do it to memories.
Yeah. So he could theoretically he can take away your will to fight him and just make you give up.
Yeah.
So that actually he might actually be stronger than Teach then, because Teach's stuff wouldn't work on him.
Yeah.
At first, like he'd be able to and he's not a Lokia, so he's used to getting hit. Yeah. Also, we know that Buccaneers are nearly indestructible. Yeah. They're tougher than giants.
That's why he was chosen to be modeled after the pacifist.
And that's why the Seraphims exist, because his blood is so strong.
Yep.
But yeah. They're tough. Like he's tougher than a giant. Like his body's tougher than a giant. Like so. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's the strongest warlord. Actually, after we talk about it like that.
Nah.
He's probably the strongest.
When you think about because I was talking about this a while ago. When you think about just how Kuma literally probably could have. With no
powers, he escaped the God Valley incident.
Nah, he had powers. That's where he got him.
I know but the start of it, he didn't have powers. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he rose through the ranks without powers in the Revolutionary Army.
No, he had powers okay.
I thought he joined the Revolutionary Army before.
Kuma was a slave.
Yeah, I know he was a slave.
He met Ivankov as a slave. This was before the race.
I thought he met Genie as a slave.
Genie was with Ivankov. He met them both at the same time.
That's my bad. I got it confused.
The God Valley incident was the shit that the Celestial Dragons were doing, like a Hunger Games type thing, where
they were genociding the people that lived on God Valley.
Not even that. It was that they had taken races of people. It was a genocide of literally races. And that's what it was about.
I thought it was they just picked one group and genocided it. I guess it changes.
Hold up.
My understanding is how those games work.
Like, because Kuma was a different race than Jenny and them. So
yeah, but he's also the last one.
Yeah. I think they took people and they were representing their race.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
But the prizes there was Kaido's fruit and Kuma's fruit.
There's a couple other fruits too.
There were a couple.
I think it's Ivankov's fruit.
I don't know about
there's
that. Because Ivankov didn't get that fruit there.
I know there's more fruits.
But because Ivankov was gonna eat Kaido's fruit, because in the thing, Big Mom swiped Kaido's fruit from Ivankov, but didn't take the pawpaw from Kuma, so that's why he went ahead and ate it, and that's how they got out. Because Kuma saved them and
unless you teleport.
People that was there, and like that whole incident there, because like that's when all of that started, and he wasn't even a revolutionary then, because I think they split off. Ivankov and them became revolutionaries, and then they went and got Kuma, if I remember correct.
I thought Jenny was already part of the Revolutionary Army at that point.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But yeah, so after thinking about it, like he's got to be the strongest.
Oh yeah,
and he's probably a master of hockey because he was he worked for Dragon, and Dragon has
he's already shown hockey feats.
So yeah, at that point, and then what's it called? The other warlords we only know for a fact. Doflamingo has Conqueror's hockey. Mihawk has hockey,
and Boa.
Boa has hockey, but that's because you have to learn hockey to live on their island.
Yeah.
But she's not like...
She had a master proficiency.
But also she has Conqueror's hockey.
Yeah.
Because that's the reason that she falls in love with Luffy, is because she was like destined to...
marry a conqueror.
Or to fall in love
with the conqueror.
Because remember, it's like if you don't marry the person that you fall in love with when you're like the Empress of Amazon Lily, it like makes you sick. And that's what her predecessor died of. And I know the community thinks it was Luffy's mom. I saw like that's the leading theory is that.
You know her predecessor's that old lady. Who's the no?
No. That's the one before. She is a predecessor.
Yeah, she's the one before the one we're talking about.
Yeah, there's one that like got on somebody's. It was either Rocks or Roger. I thought it was Rocks. But like there's a theory that people said that it was Love and Rocks, and then some people think she was in love with that lady
too. No, that lady too. We're talking about was on Rocks.
Or that's the one. It's the one.
She was on Rocks.
The one in between the old lady and what's it called?
What it was?
No, the theory is that she fell in love with Gart. That's what the theory was.
Yeah. The theory is that's the
old lady fell in love with
Dragon's wife,
and then the one before Boa was Dragon's wife.
Yeah,
that's the theory.
Yeah. Which I think would be cool. Now, if
it would make sense because what's it called? All three of the monkeys have Conqueror's Haki, and their Conqueror's Haki is special.
Yeah, I mean, because one thing I noticed we're destined to get, because one thing Luffy still has to meet the Revolutionary Army, which I thought that was cool. I didn't think about that till
or
this
the
morning.
Rest of it.
No, like it's the actual revolutionary. He met Sabo, but Sabo,
he needs to meet his dad.
Yeah, Sabo exists outside of the Revolutionary Army to him,
but he's also the second in command though. So
yeah, and I don't even think he really talked to Ivankov that much in Marine Impel Down.
But he talked to him enough to where
on
like
the ship
what's it called? Ivankov was like he was just like, oh, your father in my life, so I'm going to protect your life with mine.
He was the one who told him that Roger was Ace's dad.
Yeah, and he thought. Remember, the reason he wanted to help Ace is because he thought he thinks he owes Dragon a life debt.
Oh, of course.
And so because he just calls him brother, he doesn't realize that they're not biologically related.
Yeah, but nah, it's funny we mention all that because what pop up next is literally like we start getting into like Oars just going nuts and them starting to use Nightmare Luffy when that came up. I remember.
Yeah, that's why I chose that as the thumbnail because Nightmare Luffy was dope.
Bruh, I remember when I first got into One Piece and getting into this part and finding out how popular Nightmare Luffy was back in the day. Like,
I wonder if Luffy remembered how strong he was as Nightmare Luffy, and that's why he turned into the buff guy in Gear 5.
You talking about not the giant? You talking about Muscle?
Yeah, I wonder if that's just him because it looks like Nightmare Luffy.
I could see it.
It looks a lot like it doesn't look exactly, but it looks very similar to Nightmare Luffy.
Nah, I can definitely see it, but because that's was one of the things about when you talk about the parallels between Luffy and Moria. Like, literally, Luffy was willing to go through so many different modifications just to get the edge on Moria. He didn't care what it was going to do to him. Like, they threw a shadow in him of a swordsman, and that's what made me still mad. Like, the freaking swordsman that they threw, whose shadow they threw in the Luffy, me tell me y'all couldn't give that to Ryuma? Like, that dude.
Well, he was just a random, like, marine dreg, though.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
He's not named, he don't matter.
You wouldn't want to throw an unnamed swordsman in the body of Ryuma.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad. But, nah, we get to that same part, and it was like he didn't care. Like, the dude literally said, just keep throwing them. Well, to be fair, the zombie side just keep throwing them in there as they saw how much he could take. But Luffy never told him to stop.
But he also never agreed to it.
Yeah, that's true. But that boy.
But it's just one of those things. He probably just felt so strong that he was fine with it.
Yeah.
And but also, I feel like that wasn't 10 minutes. Like, I feel like he only had like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like actual time because of how time works weird in One Piece.
Yeah.
That we've talked about it kind of. That doesn't work like it works in.
I just hate time in anime, period.
Well, no, it makes sense in Dragon Ball.
No.
They went out their way, or at least in Super, they went out their way to make it.
It wasn't bad.
Well, like Super, they explained like everything that happened. Like, it's just so fast.
They were being very detailed, derogatory about it, and that was good. But still, I hate the idea that only certain minutes go by in whole episodes. It's just one of those little icks It just gives me the ick. Nothing serious.
Yeah, I don't like giving a time frame in the thing because it makes them feel like I feel like the author doesn't understand like how much weaker or how much stronger it makes the character seem.
I don't even think it's time limit. It's just like one of those what do you call it? Like one of those little danger ticks or whatever. Like it's just meant to add extra to the story. It's okay.
It's just artificial tension.
Yeah, that's it. Artificial tension, and it's fine. It's just I hate the way they do it.
It would be artificial tension, but it's so well done that it's okay.
Yeah.
Like it's possible, like a bomb gonna blow up in a movie and it's gonna like blow up the White House or something like that. Like that stuff makes sense. Like okay, the tension there makes sense, but like you got 30 minutes until the dawn and you got 10 minutes until this power up goes away.
I will say
only lasts for like 45 seconds.
I will say because once next week gets here, probably gonna be finishing up the artificial tension with this one waiting for the dawn is my least favorite in all of One Piece. I hate the trope that animes tend to do where they'll kill off people with a thing, but as soon as it gets to an important character, it makes them kill them off a different way. I never like that trope.
Oh, ever. Yeah, where it's like the boss was OP as shit when you fought him, but when you unlocked him, he sucks.
That's part of the same train. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
like in this going to be, as soon as the sun hits people that lost their shadow, they get vaporized instantly. As soon as one of the main characters do it, it slow burns them.
If the argument is the stronger your will, the longer it takes.
That would be good. But
they haven't expressed there's a rule to it other than you die.
Yeah.
So it's like the only rule we saw is that it took a regular dude walking into the sun when Brook saw it from his flashback. It took him like less than a minute.
Yep.
It took him like probably like 20 seconds to just be vaporized.
And them it was like they was literally just peeling away.
Yeah, but then like how'd it come back?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the parts of them that started to turn to dust, like how'd that come back?
That just the shadow just re-brought them back. It's just what I just have to.
In the manga, like Luffy got all the way to like here was missing.
In the anime, it was like his waist.
Yeah, so it's just like where'd that come from? How'd it come back? How did it know to come back?
Yeah. But like literally, in this Nightmare Luffy, we just see and how like far he's willing to go. You just see he just puts it all on the line.
Use Gear 2?
Huh?
Can Nightmare Luffy use Gear 2, or is it already in Gear 2?
I thought he was just. It was just he had that dog in him.
No, but like just imagine like if he could go Gear 2.
That would be great.
Because he can use Gear 3. Remember, he inflates his waist.
Yeah.
Not to like giant size, but like
just a little bit.
Yeah, so I wonder if he could. Oh no, Nightmare Luffy's never gonna come up again. So, no. But one thing that is kind of funny.
Actually, bro. After watching this again, especially paired with the new episode that came out, I actually think Moria is gonna come back.
He might,
because of the way it's set up. Because Perona in this recent episode just freed Kobe, but her requirement was that he also helped free Moria, and it cut away from that as soon as he said, so you said free him, huh? Oh, Kobe escaped. And it hit me. I'm like, y'all just tried to sweep that detail under the rug. Like, oh, y'all didn't want to let us know that Moria got back out? Okay. Nah, I think he gonna come back.
What? Also, Moria is like the single greatest buffer in the show.
Yeah, and then also the theory is that all the warlords, since they've abolished the system, all the former warlords going to go under Cross Guild, since they already got 3 of them.
What, Mihawk, Crocodile, and...
Buggy. Buggy was warlord too.
Oh, yeah, that's right. When Law gets kicked out, Buggy takes his place.
Yeah.
That's right.
So... they're already saying Doflamingo gonna try to come up there to it.
But no, he doesn't take his Law's place. He was there before. He was a warlord before Law got kicked out. He took what's his name's place.
Crocodile's
Teach's place.
Teach when he got promoted to Emperor.
Yeah, because what's it called? Law takes what's his name's place in the time, because he uses his connections with Doflamingo.
Yep.
to make sure he gets the warlord title. Yeah, that's the only part of Punk Hazard I enjoyed was the law stuff.
The law made Punk Hazard enjoyable.
Like everything else, I was just like, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you, I don't like you. Even Kinomoke, I didn't like it. I like the ninja one though. The ninja dude's hilarious.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, because you can tell Oda's a big Naruto fan.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that was
irrespective
all
of, what's it called? Nami has a dress that's just the Hidden Leaf Village symbol all over it.
Yep.
Like, it's in her closet.
Yep.
It's from, like, a cover.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just covered. And then it's, like, wavy in such a way that it's, like, a combination of the Akatsuki symbol and the Leaf Village symbol.
Yeah.
And it's black and red. So, like, you can tell that he's a massive...
The one thing that I miss, because, dude, all the old Jin shows used to cameo, shout out each other.
Well, what's it called? You know, it's like what's it called? JJK.
Yeah,
and,
JJK is the only
My Hero.
one.
They have references to each other because
they're the
really
only
good
ones
friends in real life.
They're the only ones, though.
Like bro,
I wish all of them referenced each
other. They did a special like art collection for each other, and it's each other's characters, like main characters drawn in each other's universes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's not the AI version that's all over the internet, but no, it's like there's like Deku in his JJK Tokyo High outfit and stuff like that. And like what's it called? I think it's Gojo dressed as Shigaraki. I can't remember who's Gojo's dressed as, but stuff like that.
But nah, Nightmare Luffy. Yeah. Cause that's why I started with all this. Cause when you see, I found it crazy that he called it Nightmare Luffy in the absence of a dude who was literally taking away everybody's dreams to make it his own. I thought that was pretty cool. I was going with that.
Yeah, because if you can't achieve your dreams, then your life is a nightmare.
Yeah, and Luffy was willing to step into a nightmare in order to further continue his dreams.
He integrates a shadow.
Yeah.
And it gives him a massive...
Back to Carl Jung.
Yeah. Carl Gustav Jung, bro.
Yeah. If y'all don't know about Carl Jung, y'all need to go watch them earlier Naruto episodes we got, man.
Like dude, fucking... them Swiss people. Okay, he's Swiss and what's it called? Nietsche Swiss. What are the odds?
What are the odds? But what after Nightmare Luffy, I think that's yeah, that was when Moria jumped. No, he had already jumped into him and started manipulating the shadow.
Luffy shows up, breaks Oars, and then Oars gets up. When he knocks out of it, he hits him with the elephant gun that shatters his spine, so he can't move anymore.
Because that's when they found out that he might not feel any pain, but he can still take damage.
Yeah, he still wears all the damage.
Yeah.
So they shattered his spine so he couldn't move anymore. And then Moria's just like, you know what? You had all those things. I can do the same thing.
That's my power. Let me show you how it's done.
And then he absorbs 1,000 of them and then immediately loses. That's what cracks me up. He immediately loses. Because, like, it's different than how Luffy did it. It's almost... Remember, Luffy absorbed them into himself.
Yeah.
Gecko Moria, like, ate them. Remember, because he throws them up.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
So, like, Gecko Moria consumes them, like, in his thirst for power. And Luffy just absorbs them to help him. Like, trying to think of a good, like, thematic parallel there. Like, I guess actually the best way to say it is Moria takes them forcibly and Luffy is given them.
Yeah. The force versus the willingness to take. Because Luffy was willing to take all those, and Moria literally forced them out of everybody else and put them, because he already put them in those destinations. I assume him getting them back would be a little violent. And yeah, that's crazy when you think about it. Because even then, like, just in the way he was doing it, because like he'd force, because even the shadows he'd pull out of people's bodies, he had to force them out by cutting them. And then once he put them back.
Also, that could just be the way that he interprets his ability to use his power.
Yeah, of course. That interpretation thing.
His interpretation changes how people use their power.
I mean, we've seen what it looks like at this point now with two different people with the same power and how they use it.
Well, the best example is probably Sabo and Ace.
Sabo and Ace, Bon Clay, and old chick, the old hag that helps in Wano, Bartolomeo, and also the guy in Wano who's helping the old hag.
Momonosuke and Kaido.
Yeah, Momonosuke and Kaido would be another one too.
Because he has the special smile fruit that's a copy of Kaido's.
Yeah, that was made first. And this also what we ended up talking, because last week we also said that this was the arc where the aspect of the camel in Nietzsche's Übermensch is very much so explained in this. And after they pretty much beat Mori and knock all the souls
Nightmare
out.
Luffy's a good example because he takes the hopes of
the
entire thing, and like Lola shows up, like actual Lola shows up.
Actual Lola, which is the
real one.
Yeah, who gives
the Big Mom's daughter one. She shows up and she calls Luffy the Warrior of Hope.
Yeah, which foreshadow.
Yeah.
But we also see in the same breath, like how you say Nightmare Luffy showed that him taking all of the burdens of everybody else to achieve the ending the crisis of Moria. But also at the end of it, when Luffy is pretty much unconscious after he done got his shadow back, we get the crew pretty much saying what we said about he always knows who to fight, but actually starting to acknowledge the fact that Luffy takes the blunt of all of these attacks from them, and they really themselves need to get stronger. And that's like what you would do in the idea of a camel, like identifying those weaknesses, knowing that you still got a burden, like identifying that your burdens have been getting carried, but you also have to reciprocate and carry your fair share of the weight as well.
And there's another big piece of foreshadowing in this arc too. It's Lola says when Zoro stands up after he just got smashed by oars before the final attack, Lola says he takes hits from that giant and is still standing. I don't know who's more undead, you or the zombie.
Yeah.
In the manga, because Zoro becomes the king of hell.
Yeah. Yep. Nah, it's probably like a lot in the foreshadowing department that could be there that we're going over.
Another good thing about like Luffy versus like Moria's mental state, like how they are, like Luffy's willing to risk everything because he's got something to lose. Moria has nothing to lose, so he's not willing to risk anything.
Yeah,
because like he says, when they like break oars and he's about to use Shadow Asgard, Moria says you can never count on your crew because they are immortal. Zombies are already dead, so they have nothing to lose. Zombies are immortal, even if they are purified. They are expendable soldiers and can be easily replaced.
Yeah.
So, like, he's not willing to sacrifice anything. Luffy's willing to sacrifice everything, and Luffy's crew's willing to sacrifice everything. So, like, Moria's willing to sacrifice other people for his dream, but Luffy's willing to sacrifice only himself for this dream.
Yeah, pretty much. And side note, I think Moria coming back in Egghead after seeing the Norse reference in Shadow Asgard. I think he's coming back in Elbaf, not Egghead, sorry. But he's definitely coming back in Elbaf. I see that now.
And then... what's called? There's another thing I gotta find in the line. Where's the line at? Oh yeah. They're like recovering as soon as they all get their souls back. Chopper says it seems they're all okay too. The random Lola's pirates are, I can feel the morning sun, no need to fear the dawn anymore. I have a shadow, I don't have to hide in the dark forest ever again. Like they're all like, they finally get to step out into the sun. and it was the ability to step out into the sun was brought about by Luffy.
Yeah.
The reincarnation of the sun god.
That's a crazy freaking.
And then there's when the old man in the graveyard that they thought was a zombie at the beginning comes back in. Sanji's just like, you're the old man at the graveyard. And then the old man says, I can't believe the day that actually comes when I can walk beneath the sun. Thank you. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Like, the Luffy, like, I don't know if it's intentional foreshadowing or not, but they all get to see the sun for the first time thanks to Luffy bringing it.
Yep, the Dawn Bringer.
And it bringing the dawn, he brought freedom. Which goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, what if this entire thing is just the foreshadowing for the end of One Piece?
I see it. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Definitely see all this coming into fruition.
Yeah, I got no clue. There's so much possible. Like, you never know with One Piece what it is. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely.
There's just, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You never know. But, that's pretty much it for today. Because next week is going to be like
the conclusion of Thriller Bark and Kuma's gets to moving.
And like the first real big piece of character development in the show, I think. Like the first major bit of character development that's not just like a power up or something is next week.
You talking about with Zoro?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. That's one of my favorite moments, and every time I revisit it, I see something different.
Like, Enies Lobby had a big character moment with the I Want to Live, but I think the Zoro one might be even more so fun.
We'll talk about it. We're gonna
But yeah, guys. So
wait. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment. Y'all got anything that we missed, anything we got wrong, anything we need to say, anything we need to improve on, please let us know in the comment section. We see y'all, man. Where we at, like 26 subscribers now?
I think so.
We on the road to 50.
Yeah, but another 50. Thing, what's it called? We're gonna be getting a camera soon for the thing, and so would y'all rather have like something playing in the background or like us with the green screen? Like, what would y'all rather have? Because we could I could record a bunch of One Piece Burn and Blood gameplay and stuff like that. So, we can have that going. But yeah, y'all just let us know. Thanks again. And like Drago said, comment, subscribe. Let us know what we did right. Let us know more importantly, let us know what we did wrong. That way we can make sure it doesn't happen anymore.
There y'all go. We're a growing channel. We definitely trying to sprout, but we need you.
Yeah. But I guess this is Corrupted.
And Drago.
Signing off. Y'all have a good week, guys.
Good week.